You know, it's been a long time, but this is supposedly the year when the Arizona Coyotes stop taking bad money and start building to win. They've had a lot of changes in the offseason, but this is the year that they stop taking dead money. But that doesn't mean that they don't have dead money. And it would be unfair to start without telling you how much dead money. Because if you look at their cap space right now, it's like, oh, wow, they've only got a few $1 million left. They're almost a cap team. No. Jake Voracek at $8.25 million. Shea Weber at $7.875 million. Brian Little at $5.29 million. OEL at $20,000. And that's Patrick Nemeth at $166,000. That's $23.26 million in dead cap this year. But that all changes. Not this year, but next year. And not mostly next year because a lot of those contracts extend further than that. But
they need that $20,000 from OEL.
They do. What's new, though? You got Matt Dumba. You got Sean Dursey. You got Logan Cooley. You got Alex Kerfoot. And you got Jason Zucker. Ladd's contract, Brett Ritchie, Patrick Nemeth, Christian Fisher, and Zach Kassian are all gone. Let's start with the very good. The very good is Logan Cooley.
Oh, absolutely.
Goal of the preseason.
Goal of the preseason, bar none. Connor Bedard has a clip that's going viral right now the day that we're shooting this, but he didn't score on it.
No, it is probably going to be the goal of the preseason. Fantastic show that he put on in LA. Guys, what are realistic expectations for Logan Cooley this year?
Well, he's going to get plenty of opportunity, and I actually kind of think Arizona has some talent to insulate him if they have to. He might not be surrounded by the high end that Bedard is. Actually, Bedard's only really got Hall. And see how I'm comparing.
And it's like Corey Perry and Nick Foligno.
Yeah, I'm just comparing these two players arbitrarily. Like Clayton Keller is the engine of this team, right? He's the beginning, middle, and end of it. So if Logan Cooley falters, I mean, even more eyes are going to turn to Clayton Keller. Coyotes fans watching this video, I think you're going to be shocked by how high I am on this team.
Betting odds. So first off, the Coyotes had 70 points last year. Mm-hmm. What do you think the over-under, guys, is for the odds this year for their points?
80.5.
Jesse.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the wild card stands from last year. What do I think the market set it at? I think they're going to think they're going to improve a little. 75.5.
Yeah, 80.5 feels so high.
You were so close, Jesse. 74.5.
Hey!
Now, are you both hammering the over because of it?
Over 74.5.
Do you think they can do that?
Well, judging by my answer, yeah. I'm taking the over. I listen, I don't think they're great. Mm-hmm. They're not. But a lot of their games last year were competitive. They got great goaltending. I think they're going to score a little more this year. They're middle of the pack.
Jesse, what do you think? Over or under on these guys?
I'm going to take the under.
You're thinking 74.5.
Yeah. I think they'll be in and around where they were last season. Like, I don't see a huge improvement. I'm thinking that some of the teams in the division are going to take some of those points away from them so that you got to redistribute those points a little better. And they'll kind of end up in that 68 to 74 area, I think.
Interesting.
Is where I have the one thing about Logan Cooley, though, is as a young 19-year-old, I know I would have taken $950,000 over going to school for another year. But Logan Cooley initially said he was going back to school. And then he changed his mind and said, I'm going to the Coyotes. And I think that's a really good positive takeaway for not only for the organization, but Coyotes fans. You got a guy who wanted to be there over a place he had a lot of fun. You know, he loved that competing for the championship there in the NCAA, but he chose to be with the Coyotes, which is a huge thing.
And it was a great negotiation ploy to get all of his rookie bonuses to make sure. Because if he didn't, he was going back to school until he got them.
Why not? Listen, all that building stuff and,
But yeah, just break the team. Let's just talk team and roster.
Yeah, well, this is the beautiful thing, I think, for Coyotes fans. The season's about to begin. The games are on now. You don't have to talk about all that crap. And all you can do is play in the building you have. The building you have is fun. The team that you have is fun. I think the team is built for the building. I think they're going to be a really high flying team.
They're like a punk rock band in a small venue.
But you don't want to talk about the building, but I think the building lends to why I think the Coyotes will kind of be where they were last season. Because last season, teams coming into Arizona They didn't fare too well. The Coyotes were 21,
didn't take it
15, and 5 at home. Six
Wow.
games above 500 for a not very good team. On the road, they were 7, 25, and 9.
Whoa.
That was their road
Wow.
record. 7, 25, and 9. And I think now that we've had a year of ASU, road teams are going to be a little more prepared going into Arizona, and the home record for the Coyotes won't be as good.
Now,
That's my logic.
I want to throw
There's
this out
something
there,
there.
guys. The Coyotes, not to get too excited, were 27th in goals for last year, 24th most allowed goals. They were 24th in power play and 27th on the penalty kill.
Considering how good Karel Vejmelka was, hearing they were 24th in goals against is wild.
For the goalie situation, neither goalie had a goals against average below 330 last year. Wow. Neither had a save percentage over 900. So, Steve, I know Steve irrationally loves both of these goalies. I know how much he loves Connor
no
Ingram.
reason.
I know you love Karel Vejmelka.
I like Vejmelka. Ingram,
You vouched for in the Colorado National Series.
we had a
You
one
love
night
Connor
stand.
Ingram.
We had a one night stand. He's not that bad, man.
There are
Which relationship is stronger, Steve and Ingram or Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Steven Ingram. It's longer.
Oh,
I
it's longer.
disagree.
I disagree too.
It's less profitable.
It's far less profitable. You asked me which is more solid, and that's the one I'm going.
okay.
That's a more listen. Just
Don't
by
listen.
numbers, it's more solid.
Don't listen, Taylor.
I want to say this. There's been
I know
a couple
she
of
listens, so.
upgrades I want to shine a light on. Obviously, Sean Jersey, that trade.
Noted Alan Walsh client.
Well, listen, it can be a bit of a whoa in his own end, but on offense, he's going to get a ton of power play time. And this is going to be really beneficial to a young guy who looks to be a pretty good offensive defenseman.
Having him and Dumba, that puck is going to friggin' move up the right side of the ice. I think that's a really underratedly big improvement for them. Like, the Coyotes aren't just completely selling everything that's not bolted to the floor anymore, and I feel like that's extremely relevant, especially when it comes to the back end.
Is Matt Dumba not one that will be sold, though? Now, like, we know what he brings at this point in his career, but he's got a 1-year contract. This team is probably not going to make the playoffs, barring a Karel Vejmelka storyline of the year, which, listen, we're all open to it, especially Steve.
Totally.
But I want to say, Matt Dumba, what does he bring to the team? And you got to think he's moving for assets at the trade deadline, yeah?
I mean, I think that's what you do if you're not in a playoff spot. But I do actually think if they're competitive, they're going to try to keep some of these guys. I really do. Sorry, what was your question?
My question is, what's he bring to them?
Oh, I mean, he's got a bomb of a shot. He can hit. He has an abundance of experience. He's a good free agent choosing to go to Arizona. That does not happen very often. Kerfoot's a really serviceable guy. I think Dumba's a better defenseman than Kerfoot is a forward, but Kerfoot's really versatile. They're going to have a better power play because of Dumba. And like I said, they're going to be able to move the puck up the right side.
One guy I wanted to ask you guys about was Matthias Maselli, who quietly had 49 points in 80 games last year for them. Nice little 3-year extension. If he's making a couple $1 million a year, not bad. It feels like he would be the breakout candidate besides Logan Cooley, right? He could continue to be quietly very good.
Rookies, they do something. It's some sort of shot of adrenaline to your roster. If they get off to a hot couple weeks to start the season, honestly, you can ride that into the winter.
Just because of the energy.
Just the energy.
Okay. Now, it's another year probably to sell at the trade deadline for the Coyotes. The future is looking a lot brighter. So let me ask you this. What's a win for the Coyotes this year, gentlemen, and where do you have them in the standings in the Central Division?
I think a victory for them is being in the playoff conversation come trade deadline.
Okay.
You're not going in there hoping to sell off, all your guys on expiring deals, but you go in there prepared to do it, which I think is just a responsible.
And there are some good deals there.
I think this is going to shock a lot of people. I have the Coyotes 5th
Wow.
5th out of 8 in the division.
Jesse Blake, where do you have the Coyotes?
You didn't mention a couple names. Dylan Genther is going to be in the lineup full time this season. He's going to hopefully take another step. That could be a really good player. And the top 9 for the Coyotes is a little underrated with the way you're looking at the roster. It's a Cooley, Kerfoot, Zucker could be a dynamic line number 2, and having Genther on that third line, the first line of Keller, Hayton, Nick Schmaltz, if they go with that one, is a decent first line.
Jack McBain too.
Jack McBain is also
guys,
there.
Answer the question. Where are they going to be? We got to wrap it up.
I didn't get to say anything.
What is it? Oh, I'm sorry.
And
Go
JJ
ahead.
Moster also on the D. That's
Just
second
going to
round
name
pick.
all their prospects.
That's a second round pick from 2 years ago who gets to play full time in the NHL. He's going to be good.
But also, sorry.
Go.
7th in the division.
7th in the division. I have them 6th. I am higher on them than I am on a couple other teams. I do think they're going to be very, very good in a couple of years.